in the story coming in the Quran in chapter 19 in verses 24 to 25. And we see the mention of the story of Mary, that Maryam, may Allah be pleased with her.
So Maryam is Arabic for Mary.
Was a virgin.
Alayhi salam, I guess they say. Yeah, this is alayhi salam kind of stuff at the end. Alayha salam?
And she had dedicated her life to the worship of one God, prayer and fasting. And by the power of Allah, that the Creator breathed His Spirit into her, and He said, be and it is, she conceived Jesus, Isa alayhi salam, without a father, without a man. That is the belief of Islam. When she felt the pain of the pregnancy, the angel came to her and told her to go outside of the city. She went outside of the city to a remote area, and there she found a palm tree, and she found water. And
yeah, this is the difference between the Islamic version and the Christian version. In the Islamic version, she was outside next to a palm tree. In the Christian version, she was next to some animals in a stable or somewhere, right? In a barn or something. What is it called? But yeah, different. The imagery, like you see, like all the nativity scenes with Mother Mary next to some donkeys and horses and chickens and the three wise men. The Islamic version, you have to put Mother Mary next to a tree and no animals.
And it was speaking about a type of rutub, or a type of dates. It's at the height of the heat that the dates become ripe. And so it's at that time that she gave birth to Isa alayhi salam. Even in the Christian traditions, they have the belief that the shepherds were tending their flocks outside. And in Palestine,
okay, so yeah, in the Islamic version, Mary didn't have a husband. Yeah, she was just alone, no husband, just got pregnant out of nowhere, and she gave birth under a date tree. And and the tree had fruit like a date tree. It had it's basically saying all of this stuff. And there were shepherds there tending their flocks. And he's saying if it was winter, none of this would be possible. So he's saying, according to Quran, according to Islam, when Mary gave birth, all of this stuff was happening around her. There's no way Mary gave birth to Jesus in winter. How could it be? How could you have this? How could you have the tree having juicy? My mouth is watering. How could you have the tree having some juicy dates like this, and the shepherds with all the animals? So they're just saying that they're accepting the Islamic narrative as given. Obviously, the Islamic narrative is given, and given that it's given, and all of this stuff is happening, then Jesus was not born in winter. Jesus was born in summer.
That she gave birth to Isa alayhi salam. Even in the Christian traditions.
Oh, even in the Christian. Okay, so no. The tree one, the fruit one was the Islamic narrative. And he's like, oh, we have evidence in the Christian narrative as well.
They have the belief that the shepherds were tending their flocks outside. And in Palestine, you cannot keep your flocks outside in the wintertime in the evening. You bring them in because it's cool at night. And so it was the warm weather.
But weren't the animals inside? When in the Christian narrative, the animals were inside.
Also the time of the taxes in the north. So from different points of view, we understand that Isa alayhi salam was not born during the winter season. He was born in the warm weather. So who was it?
Wow, this is a detective work, guys.
Was born in the winter season. Who is that?
Oh, so he's saying that Christians, this is so perfect. This works so perfectly for them, right? Because they're like, the Christians today, they're not even worshiping Jesus. They're worshiping someone else. Who are they worshiping? They think they're worshiping Jesus. Like they think worshiping Jesus is bad because Jesus was not God. Jesus was a prophet, according to them. But they're not even celebrating Jesus. even there's like it's Muslims who are right there celebrating Jesus as a prophet of God. The Christians today, they've been duped into celebrating someone else. Who is this guy that they're celebrating, that they've been conned into believing? This is getting very dark and shady, right? Like this is like, I like this to be, imagine being a Muslim and watching this. This might give you like, you feel like you have access to knowledge, like all these Christians on Christmas. They think that there's somebody else. Somebody tricked them. There's a person that they're celebrating, but it's not Jesus. Who is it? This is a very clever video. I mean, come on. The propaganda here is very clever. It's very well made, and it tries to connect the dots in a very interesting way. You know, it has some truth in it, some, you know, the fact that all of this is rooted into some pagan religions, but then it just ties it into this. It's a master piece of, like, you know, propaganda, right? Like brainwashing, because you take the journey with this preacher who's speaking, and the visuals are perfect, and a lot of the stuff that he's saying is true, but then it takes you into a journey and gets you, and all of a sudden you get off the truth, and it fits so well with the narrative that Islam already has, right? That, like, Christianity has been corrupted, you know, so you have a base narrative that you're working with, but then you take Christianity and Christmas and paganism, and you try to say, like, how could we take all of these stories and make it so that it fits the Islamic narrative that we already have, to reinforce and confirm the Islamic narrative that we already have? How could we twist all of these different things, information that we're getting? And this is what you get, right? So you have some information about Paul. All of a sudden, Paul becomes a great scapegoat, especially given that he's a Jew, that he is the corrupting agent in Christianity. You have some information about, you know, there seems to be some contradiction about Jesus being born in winter. Like, some people say Jesus was born in April. They take the narrative and they twist it. Okay, then who is it that nobody was born on December 25th? What is this? Like, then who are Christians? This is perfect, because then now you build a conspiracy here. It's just so beautifully done. Like, as much as BS all of this is, you have to, like, kind of respect how good they are at it, right? And, you know, if you watch this to the end as a Muslim, you feel special, because you feel like you're woken to this secret information that was presented to you so beautifully by aware Muslim imams, and that, you know, you're special because you know something that all these people around you, like, imagine being a Muslim in the United States or Canada or Western European countries, and then you go through the day and you watch people celebrating Christmas, and you, like, they do not know, but I know, right? So, but let's see what this conspiracy is, okay?
That was born in the winter season.
No, they don't think Jesus is God. They think Jesus is a prophet of God, okay? But hold on, let's see. Oh, wow. Jessica, God, Jessica, not Jesus. Okay, guys, you have to forgive me today. Okay, I'm not dead naming Jesus today, okay? I'm just going with what they think, okay? So if I just say Jesus, you have to forgive me.
Who is that character now?
Who is
Number
it?
one, you have to understand this concept of Saturn, the concept of Bacchus. When they are portrayed, they're usually portrayed as a heavy-set man with a white beard.
Do you see where we're going here? Do you see where we're going here? Do you guys see where we're going here? This is perfect.
And when in the Sistine Chapel, Michelangelo drew his picture, you could see the long flowing beard, and there are actually pictures of this man on a sled being drawn by snakes with wings. Snakes do not normally fly. Sound familiar to you now, doesn't it? He's performing miracles. He's coming out on December 25th, which is not the birthday of Isa alayhi salam, has nothing
Not Isa again. Remember, Isa is Jesus. So it's saying that he's born on December 25th and he's not Jesus.
to do with Christianity. And he is representing riotous fun, drunken reverie. And so what happened?
So now it's, guys, it's perfect, because now the Westerners' obsession with partying, having fun, drinking alcohol, dancing, all this degeneracy on Christmas is now associated with this character that is historically wanted to celebrate the same things, right? So this is just beautiful. Like, I know it's wrong, as BS, but they just managed to, like, they create a puzzle that they put the pieces together themselves, and if you don't know any better, you see all these fitting together perfect. This is how conspiracies are born. You see how it works? They put the dots themselves there, and then they connect it in front of you to make it look like this beautiful painting, and they're like, ta-da! And
In reverie. And so what happens on Christmas, the Christmas season, especially in America, people today are not even thinking about Isa alayhi salam. They're not even thinking about Jesus. They're looking how they can get drunk. On Christmas, what is going on? In the Caribbean and many parts, if they offer you a Christmas pudding or Christmas pie or Christmas drink, watch out. Because it's probably laced with rum or wine.
Watch out, guys. Alcohol. This is, by the way, they see like alcohol, like they see it as like a major source of degeneracy as the Muslims, right?
Now this riotous occasion went so far that the Christian church banned it, and the Church of England actually banned it all the way to 1647. It was prohibited in England to celebrate Christmas because they saw Christmas as being a pagan holiday.